Hello, and welcome to the first video in a series on the tabletop role-playing game Bunkers and Badasses. In this video, we'll be discussing character creation. Every character has important information, which is often listed on a character sheet. We'll discuss various topics, including a character's stats, which are an array of numbers which are used to help determine the chance to perform various tasks, a character's archetype, which is a set of game mechanics which provide the general idea of a player's role-playing or playstyle, a character's class, which is a set of game mechanics which provide the versatility to make their role playing or playstyle truly unique, and a character's derived attributes, which are calculated using the information given from stats, archetype, or class. We'll summarize everything at the end of the video and include some page references. There are 4 stats which affect the player character. Adding points to a stat can directly or indirectly affect the gameplay mechanics pertaining to that stat. These are very similar to using stats in Dungeons and Dragons. Some gameplay mechanics use stat modifiers instead of stats. Stat modifiers are determined by taking half of the base stat and rounding down. Accuracy is the metric of how consistently you can hit a target. The game mechanics affected by accuracy include damage ranges, long range throws, interact checks, and insight checks. Mastery is the metric of general focus or proficiency. It affects health, action skill use, skill bonuses, sneak checks, and search checks. Damage is the metric of how hard you can hit a target. It affects weapon damage, melee damage, and short range throws. Speed is the metric of ease of movement. It affects positioning, dodging enemy attacks, initiative, talk checks, and traverse checks. There are 4 archetypes which provide a general layout for a given playstyle. These help determine starting stats and give progressive access to gameplay mechanics which reinforce a certain playstyle. This is analogous to a player's race and racial feats in Dungeons and Dragons. Deadeyes focus on hitting as precisely as possible. Elementalists focus on using their action skill and dealing elemental damage. Enforcers focus on dealing as much damage as possible, and Guardians focus on being very quick and difficult to hit. Each class provides a player with an action skill. It is a special ability which allows a player to perform special attacks or maneuvers that give a powerful edge during an encounter. This can be done once per encounter and a number of times per day equal to their mastery modifier. When choosing a class, a player must choose between 2 favored guns. Favored guns allow the player to add their accuracy modifier and damage modifier to accuracy and damage rolls respectively when attacking. Players can still use non-favored guns, but will not gain any bonuses to accuracy or damage rolls from the character's stats. Players will acquire more favored gun types as they level up. The favored guns which a player can start with are found with each class. Each class has a unique skill tree. As the player progresses, they'll earn skill points which can be invested into the skill tree. This can drastically alter performance and playstyle. Skills are separated into tiers. A minimum of 3 skill points per tier are required before progressing to the next tier. Some skills allow for up to 3 skill points to be invested, while some allow only 1. Each skill tree is found with each class or as a PDF on the Nerdvana website. Playstyles are not described in the sourcebook, but they emerge mostly from a player's choice of stats, archetype, class, and skills. I use terms normally used to describe roles in other RPGs, such as damage, tank, or healer. These are not necessary, but they can be used to encourage players to create their own character concepts or better understand how they wish to play the game. When a player has chosen a starting gun from their class, they must determine the gun's accuracy ranges and damage die. The player must also choose a gun manufacturer, each of which has a unique bonus. Players are allowed to equip 3 guns. Players are allowed to store an infinite amount of items in their inventory. An equipped gun can be swapped with other equipped guns during combat. Equipped guns can only be swapped with guns in the inventory outside of combat. A player may need to use a crit die, which is a d12, when using a gun. Its use depends on the gun type, accuracy range, and player level. A player's health at level 1 is determined by 10 plus the maximum of their melee die, which is found with their class. For instance, a level 1 hunter has 14 health, which is 10 plus the maximum of a d4, which is 4. For higher levels, health is determined by rolling the melee die and adding their mastery modifier. A player's background is determined by their class. These allow for minor changes to stats, damage modifiers, or check modifiers. This slide includes information which is not determined by a character's stats, archetype, or class. Traits allow a player to gain a modifier to a check in a specific scenario. They can be rolled or chosen. They are used to mitigate bad checks or improve good checks. The same trait can be taken twice. When creating a character, a player can use 3 additional stats. Stats provided from an archetype, class, or background are predetermined, but the 3 additional stats can be distributed as the player wishes. Badass rank is a metric that progresses at the DM's discretion. It is used to determine initiative order in combat and the difficulty of badass moves. A shield is a piece of equipment which protects a character from harm. They each have a maximum capacity and a recharge rate. Every player starts with the same shield, but additional shields can be acquired while adventuring or shopping. The amount of starting gold for each character is determined by the table on page 19 of the sourcebook. Additional gold can be acquired while adventuring. This slide summarizes everything discussed in this video. It should be used as a quick reference when creating a character. In the next video, I'll be having an in-depth discussion about archetypes. Thanks for watching.